Hello, my beautiful soul tribe. Welcome or welcome back to the Daily Dish Tarot. It is food for thought for the day that can help us through our day and throughout our week. And today, we are going to get some energies in regards to our thoughts on our situations. Monday is moon energy. Tuesday is, I call it Tuesday tempo, but it's about actions we can possibly take. And Wednesday is a wisdom, so it's imparted wisdom from the universe, like advice. And Thursday is just kind of as we're approaching the weekend and for the next phase of the moon, going towards the new moon, we can get some thoughts on that, okay? All right, I cannot shuffle. There we go. There we go. It's a general read, so they may not resonate for all of you, so just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you don't want to miss anything, I would subscribe so you can be notified of whenever I upload. And then you can watch whatever you want. I do recommend watching the whole video. These do tend to be about a half an hour, so I can get down to the nitty-gritty of things. So if you don't have time to watch something for a full half hour, you can watch part of it and save it, because there are messages that you can miss at the end. So that's actually usually when the more important messages come up. Clarify things and we get a little more details. So, but anyways, I'm glad to have you along. So right now we have the 8 of Pentacles. Oh, we're working on something. That's a good thing because I'll take these also, even though they didn't quite flip over. That's good because this, when I'm recording this, so these are timeless videos. But I am basing this on the first quarter moon, which is the energy of action. So whatever is going on in our lives, this is the week for us to take some action. And you're working on it. You're working on something. So I'm going to get to those I'll flip those over. So let's see, we have the 10 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, and the 8 of Wands. Something that we've been carrying some sort of heavy load, and I'm hearing working on something to relieve us of that, which is a good thing. Something that we regret not doing sooner. Something we regret because we feel like it may have put a damper on our lives or some sort of blockage. But if you're worried about not being able to move forward on something, there are still 2 cups here. There's only 3 cups that are spilled. There are still 2 cups here. So you may be emotionally upset right now, but have no fear because it's not over. There's some sort of communication or message that's going to come in that's going to turn, so you're going to turn your life around, but turn around, and let's say the person comes up to you from behind you, or you get a call or a letter, a message, a text, and you turn around and you see these 2 cups, and it's going to be a message of, and maybe that's just coming from the universe, the spirit, saying, oh, wait a minute now, just because this happened, you can get rid of this burden. The 10s are all about ends, and the 8 to the 10 is the 2 of Wands, which is basically choosing between 2 paths. So the universe right now is telling the collective, telling us that, okay, maybe you went down a path that hasn't quite worked out for you. Something happened. Well, don't worry about that. Okay, maybe you may have to backtrack and turn around a little bit and go back so you can go down the other path. Or maybe there's another path that comes along on that particular path. Something didn't work out, but it's directing you in a different path. Does that make sense? Let's get to the bottom of the deck. The general energy is the 7 of Wands. Okay, so you're being a little defensive now. And working on something. Oh, see, I do all this bottom of the deck thing, and then I get all involved. That's what takes so long in these videos, but that's where the heart of the energy really is, the overall energy. You have been defending yourself or fighting off all these delays, people who get involved, or all these delays, or all this is stuff that usually happens during Mercury retrograde. We are not in Mercury retrograde, however, we are in Saturn retrograde. And I'm just going to tell you, with Saturn retrograde, for those of you who may not know, I am going to be doing a video on that too. So, subscribe, join the tribe if you haven't already, and you can get notified of that if you're interested in that. to give you the energies and what we can do during this, because the retrograde is going to last till November 4th. So it's going to be, we have a while with that. So you may have some delays, but with Saturn retrograde is an energy of, there are some karmic lessons that may have not been fully learned, some loose ends that need to be tied up, and those are things that we need to take care of, or should have taken care of, and haven't, and now they're resurfacing in our life in some way. And that's a good thing, though, because now we can face them, work like this card here says, maybe work on these karmic lessons that are coming in that seem like delays. It is a delay, yes, and it's because the lesson hasn't been learned. Let's take care of this now so it doesn't happen again, because if you don't learn them now, you may be going down the path and this will happen again, and it's going to keep delaying you. We don't want that. I just realized the 7 to the 10 is 3 of Wands. So we need to put something in motion. I'm corrected, it's not the 2 of Wands. We do need to try to choose a different path. But now it's like we need to put something in motion. So this is the week, maybe you've chosen your path, but start putting things in motion that are going to benefit you. And then you can step back and see where that's going to help you. All right, that was a long explanation of that. The 3 of Pentacles is you are working on, well, first and foremost, working on yourself. But working on something that you're trying to build a better foundation for your life. You're trying to get a security in your life where you don't have to worry about all these other things, be burdened by things. You may need assistance along the way. Just remember that. If you're someone who likes to do things on their own like me, I like my independence. But sometimes you do have to ask for help. I don't like doing it, but sometimes I realize I have to. The World card, this is the end of a cycle. Okay? So, and there's the Lover's card. Some sort of decision has to be made. And this is a decision. It can be about love. The Lovers can be about love, but really this is more actually aimed for spiritual decisions, spiritual guidance. What's better for your higher self? This is the divine feminine, divine masculine, and it's finding what's better for both your divine feminine and divine masculine. And I'm not sure if any of that made sense. Hopefully some of it did for some of you. But let's move these up here and we'll work to these, which could be underlying your situation without you realizing it. Well, this came up in the last, all 3 days, the past, from Monday all the way through. And emotional issues, empty cups. I see these as empty cups. Moving away from the lies, whether we're telling lies to ourselves or somebody's telling us. Let's start. So that's what's underlying this. You may not be seeing this, that there is some sort of deception going on here. And we'll get more information. All right, so let me shuffle this once because I've already pre-shuffled, but I'll shuffle it once just to include your energy in the cards here. We're going to start with the 7 of Pentacles and work our way to see what specifically some of you may be working on. All right, Spirit. 8 of Pentacles, not 7 of Pentacles. Spirit, 8 of Pentacles. Kelly needs some more coffee. I need more coffee. Anybody out there coffee drinkers? Cheers. 4 of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Well, straight off the bat for some of you, now this may not resonate for a large amount of you, but for a few of you, and I'm just going to say this specifically, and then we'll move to more generality here, that you may be holding on to either a job or you're a person who's a workaholic. And that's your whole life. So something may be out of balance. And if you're honest with yourself, you're going to realize that it's really not as emotionally fulfilling. You're successful maybe in your work, but it's not very emotionally fulfilling. And it's basically, with this Five of Cups here, maybe you lost a love or something emotional because of this work. And you chose not to see it or didn't want to see it. For the rest of you, or for some others of you, the 8 to the 4 is another 4 of Pentacles. I'm hearing two things. There may be something that you are working on, focus on working on, that you need to look in a different direction. You may have been doing this type of behavior, work, and you're used to it, but it's time to set new goals. And you're holding on to the old, but you need to bring in some new, whatever that may mean. Now the 8 to the 1 of Ace of Pentacles is the 7 of Pentacles, obviously, but I mean, I'm just going to say the 7 of Pentacles, for those who aren't familiar with the Tarot, is a card of taking stock, taking a moment to take stock of your life and say, okay, I've worked hard and I progressed this far and I've achieved all this. But in this particular deck, the Tarot deck, maybe it's this pentacle here, but it's a pentacle that's separate from the rest. And it's like, but now I want more. Do I want more? Or do I want to keep doing the same thing over and over? And I also see with that, saying that, the theory of Einstein is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You can't do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. So maybe you're going about your life, going through your routines and doing what you always do, but you really want change, but that's not going to happen unless you make the change. You have to let go sometimes of the things that you're used to, the things that make you feel secure. Sometimes you just got to let go in order for that to happen. So you may want to spend some time alone and really do some serious soul searching. Think about your worth as a person. You're not a machine. So if you're working all the time, you're more than your work. And maybe start looking at other parts of your life. Your work may be a burden on the rest of your life. Personal contacts. That seems to be coming a lot lately. I've had a couple of zodiac signs. And again, I can't remember. I think it might have been Taurus. There's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn that I just did. And I think it touched on Virgos. But Taurus, I don't know, maybe it was Virgos. So some of those are already uploaded. Most of them. At this point, so I can't remember. I think I still have my internet. I don't have internet. I'm using my hotspot, and the loading is really slow. So it takes all day to upload a video. So, it just depends when these can be uploaded. All right, 10 of Wands. Yeah. It's time to lighten the load. You're going from carrying all these wands, these burdens. You're carrying everything on your back. And it's time to let go. And you may be even carrying other people's stuff. Maybe people come to you for advice and help and whatever, which is all nice, but you have to realize at some point you have to find a way to let that go. And this is a new journey for you. This is a new start for many of us. So the thoughts are, start thinking about things in your life that may need some change. You may need change in your life. And be honest about it. Walk away from wrongfully rationalizing some things. You can rationalize why you work. Sure, I got to make money. See, now I hear the 3 of Swords. I see the 3 of Swords and this particular 9 of Swords. You're lonely. I hear lonely. Or when you get home from work, you're not necessarily satisfied. You've done your work. Maybe you earn good money. You financially take care of yourself. Maybe you have a house, but there's more than that. So with the 3 and the 9 of Swords is the 6 of Swords. It's time to move to those calmer waters. There's some sort of dissension in your life, and it could very well be because of your work. What is the 5 of Cups here? Why is the 5 of Cups here, Spirit? The 5 of Cups. Now we have the King of Pentacles. Before we had the Queen, now we had the King. So, the King of Pentacles is not going to well, first of all, the King of Pentacles is not going to cry over spilled milk. The King of Pentacles knows better. King of Pentacles has a lot of experience and wisdom and knows that in life there are always going to be ups and downs, and it's how we deal with them. The successful people don't let that deter them. They don't let that determine their fate. Only you can determine your fate. How you perceive things and how you work through them is totally up to you. If you want to be the King of Pentacles and be the master of your domain and be financially, you can still be financially set, but you also, this king has a queen, and this king probably has a kingdom of people surrounding him that are his people, his tribe, and he's not going to let emotional disappointments dictate to him. Masculine energy. He knows that if something happens, there's always a couple of other ways you can do it. There's always something big and better that may come along. There may be, so this is a time with this first quarter moon is basically of what I wrote it down here. Take stock, being critical of your approach up to this point, and setting out to finish goals. That's the king. So it's all about your self-perception, your willingness to overcome any obstacles that come in, what holds you back. And so basically it's embrace the yeses, what's working for you, and you take any no's or obstacles as a signal for redirection. So it's not like, well, this just sucks. I was working on this and that's the end of that. No, it's not. And the king knows that. The king's like, hell no. Like, no, I'm not going to stop. He's patient. He's very smart. He knows. He knows that by being diligent and staying focused on the goal, it will happen. And that's why the king is the king. He's successful because he never let anything get in his way of success. The Nine of Cups. The king keeps his emotional happiness in mind. He doesn't let his emotions overrule his decisions. He's very logical in his decisions. But he is in touch with his emotions and his passions, and he's making the correct decisions and not letting life's disturbances stop him from reaching that goal, not what he wants. I'm going to do the Eight of Wands just to see. So again, take stock of what's going on in your life. What are you spending too much time on? If it's not work, it may be something else. Maybe you're working on projects at home. Maybe you are, and maybe you're even in school, which is, I'm not going to sit here and tell people, like maybe you're in college or something, well, don't focus on school. Well, yeah, some people can take it to a whole different level. Eight of Wands. Oh, I was thinking of this card when I was talking about that. This is the end of the cycle. You're moving forward. And there may be some communication. I'm hearing you may have wanted to give up at some point on something. You just kept doing the same thing. You just kept doing your job and going through the motions, sticking to your schedule, and just doing what you've always done. But, you're like, I really want to. Maybe you tried something else and it didn't quite work. But you're going to get some sort of message, some sort of communication from someone, a company, from someone, or from the universe. It may even just be a sign, synchronicities that come in your life. Pay attention to those because it's moving forward. You can move forward in a fast direction. And the universe is saying, this is a chance. This is the end of a cycle. Instead of doing the same thing over and over and going through the motions, why not try something different and see how that goes? Lessen that burden. Don't focus on any regrets you've had. Don't focus on regrets. Regrets get us nowhere. There's never a wrong decision. If we make a decision and it doesn't turn out, that's a lesson. Karmic lesson? Possibly. But that's a lesson. Everything is a lesson. So if you had something which you consider a failure, nothing's ever a failure. It's the trying. As long as you keep trying, you'll be successful at some point. You will be successful at some point. And along the way, maybe you'll learn about yourself in a way that maybe the direction you started on isn't the same direction you want to keep going on. That's fine. The universe is going to say, okay, well, let's detour over here then. But as long as you learn that lesson, but it's the end of a cycle. So just think of whatever's happening and any obstacles you may have, it's not going to be, there you go. You see what I'm saying? You have to let go a little bit. Try something new. This pentacle that's different than all the other pentacles, was a great investment. It's going to be a great investment. Keep that in mind. Sometimes we have to step outside the box a little bit. Sometimes we have to take chances on things that normally we wouldn't. And we don't have to be foolish about it. You know, even though the fool's here, we don't have to be foolish about it. But it's a state of mind that's not going to worry about the outcome. Let's just do this just because this is what I think is better for me in the long run. And you get the Ten of Pentacles. And this is about the lesson learned. Then you get to the end and it's like it's like graduation. So you've done all the lessons in the school, you've gone to school, done your work, learned your lessons, now you're graduating. You're graduating and you've learned, you're spiritually upgraded. It's a glow up, as they say, a glow up, your higher self. The Hierophant is all about spiritual wisdom. And you have achieved wisdom that you can't find in books. It's spiritual wisdom. You know, it's not just about the academics. It's not just about the skills that you have at work. It's about your life is the most important thing, you know? And sometimes we can get into other things or involved in things and we throw ourselves into it and we lose sight of ourselves, especially our higher self. All right, so now we're going to do the Seven of Swords, this deception. What is this deception all about, Spirit? Interesting that the High Priestess comes out after the Hierophant. Spiritual wisdom. Speaking of spiritual wisdom, this is the feminine spiritual wisdom. The Hierophant is more of logical. That's why when people refer in readings as the Hierophant as a priest or a pastor or a church, it's those spiritual establishments, because that's more of an earthly type of 3D wisdom and in general, whereas the High Priestess is also spiritual wisdom, but more of an internal. You're looking in, so for the Hierophant, it's an external type of wisdom. You're looking for answers outside of yourself, which will bring you answers within yourself, but this one is trusting your intuition, trusting the process. And I don't think you're doing that. For some of you, not all of you, but for some of you, you're mistrusting the process. You're not thinking that, you don't trust yourself and the universe in guiding you in the right direction. You may be afraid to take that chance. And if it's not you, then someone else is deceiving you in some way. But with the High Priestess here, the High Priestess is very mysterious. It's kind of like a blind faith. It's almost like the Two of Swords. It's trusting your internal self and your intuition, which is in turn trusting the universe. It's that internal voice that the universe is speaking to you and saying, listen, collective, this is the direction you need to go. You need to be honest with yourself about your life. How can you make changes in your life that are going to help you be your more authentic self? Help you be in touch with your higher self. Your more authentic higher self. And it's all about intuition. And then it's a mystery, so you can't see. You don't know what's going to happen. You're just going to trust that it's all going to work out. And the High Priestess is the type of energy that will start to reveal things to you that were in the dark. And as you see, this person's walking away, but the moon's still there. They're still kind of in the dark. So you may just, at the end of the week or moving forward from this, you may start walking away from this untruth, this ingenuine idea of how life should be. You're not being true to yourself. I'm just saying, the High Priestess will start divulging that. You will start seeing that, So you're still caught in the forest. I'm going to be honest, you're still caught in the forest. You're still in there trying to cut logs. You already have enough. And you're still cutting logs or doing some sort of work that is just weighing you down. You're not giving yourself a break. You need to spend some time for yourself. You know, all work and no play makes Jack or Jill a dull girl or boy. That's what this is here. You can spend time with yourself, but enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's not all about working and earning. We're going to do, lastly, the Eight of Cups. And what is the Eight of Cups signifying here that the collective can think about now? Moving into the following days. For right now, it's the weekend, going towards the weekend. There's the Four of Wands. I'm trying to think of the word. Going towards divine alignment. Something is out of balance in your life. You're going towards the end of a cycle to a more aligned balance in your life, which is divinely orchestrated. This is the Four of Wands, but it's also the 1111 card, twin flame. But okay, so there shows two people in here. So this can be two people. It can indicate two people. And that's, it could be marriage or people, but really it's supposed to be about the masculine and feminine, being in tune with each other. And you're walking away from this lie that isn't in tune with both your masculine and feminine. Your thoughts and your emotions are not on the same page. You may be thinking one thing and feeling another. Something to think about. Again, yes, Six of Pentacles. You may have all these riches, but it's time to start giving of yourself to other things besides how you earn these coins, how you get these coins, where you're at now, whether it be a child that you're going to give it to, one of your children, or a partner, or your family, a friend, spending time with people, socialization. There's the Queen of Cups, being more in touch. I'm hearing being more in touch with your feminine side, but your more emotional side, your emotions. Gaining that emotion, moving away from those negative thoughts. Two sixes. Sixes are about harmony. Six of Swords and Six of Pentacles. So, my beautiful people, the thought for right now, moving towards, through this week or whenever you're watching it, moving forward from this point on, is about letting go of something, maybe some sort of structure or behavior in your life, or a routine that is just repetitive. Something is repetitive. And your thought is to try to take inventory of your life and make some changes. Make some changes. So, somebody just banged my door. Where you stand your ground, but you can get past these obstacles, whatever they may be. This is the end of a cycle. So, I thought my card was split. This is the end of a cycle. And it's time to think of maybe starting a new beginning in a different part of your life. Paying more attention to the other aspects of your life that you may have been ignoring because maybe you're holding on to something that needs to be let go. Maybe you're doing something you shouldn't even be doing in the first place. Or maybe you're repetitive and it's just not helping you move forward. You're not moving forward. If we don't change, if we didn't have change, we don't grow. We don't learn from experiencing new and other things. So, it's up to you if you want to stay in the humdrum of life. I'm not saying quit your job or anything, but there may be something else in your life that you're ignoring by focusing on one thing. So that's our thought for the day, tribe. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. I'd love to hear from you all. And join me tomorrow for, I don't know what I call Friday energies. It's either the Friday forecast or just the weekend energies. So see what we can do, what's going to happen over the weekend to get us, get us some more energies and see what's going to happen possibly next week, going into next week. All right, thank you so much. I hope to see you again. See you in the next one. See you tomorrow morning, I hope. Peace out.